Hey guys, I just finished watching Green Slime. I can't say it the way or sing it the way the main guy sings it, as requested by Jervis Horton. Thank you, Jervis. This movie was actually really fun to watch. First thing I noticed was this one blonde lady whose hair was doing way too much to just be working at a space station, but go ahead, sis. I was not expecting that jaunty little theme song that started the movie off. I thought that was hilarious. But at the same time, I don't know what I was thinking because this movie is from the 1960s, and you're really lucky that it didn't start out with a lady in a bikini go-go dancing for no reason at all. Speaking of the theme song, the way the guy sang, it reminded me of the theme song from Spider-Man. If you're old enough to remember the Electric Company, and it was a Spider-Man theme, and at the end the guy was always like, "And nobody knows who you are." It's just way too much. It's really extra. And it's his voice. I looked it up. It's not the same guy, but they sound very similar to each other. This movie kind of starts with this same basic plot for Armageddon and Deep Impact, and then halfway through it turns into Alien. Actually, I misspoke. Let me reword that. This is the movie that Armageddon, Deep Impact, and Alien ripped off. Someone says something about Trimegatron units, and I'm like, so we're making up words now, huh? But I kind of like it. Trimegatron units. I love the hand lettering on the spaceships. I was going to say that the effects were not too bad in this for the 60s because I didn't even see the string on the spaceships. And then I remembered, oh wait, I'm thinking of the 40s and 50s because 2001 A Space Odyssey came out the very same year as the Green Slime. So no, the special effects were not that great. Except for one particular effect that I liked that they used. The effects that they used for the Green Slime in its various states, I thought those were really well executed. And it kind of reminded me, some of the scenes remind me a little bit of The Blob. They probably used some of the same technology to do those practical effects, but that part did look really cool. It's really funny because some of the ladies in this were wearing this metallic fabric, and I was thinking to myself at first, like, oh, in the 1960s, is that how I thought we were going to look in the future with all these metallics? And then fall, summer, winter, 2017, 2018 collections came out on the runways in New York Fashion Week, Paris Fashion Week, and it's metallics. So I guess they did kind of predict the future. Oh, by the way, I tried to do like a futuristic metallic lip. It's the first time I really tried to do something like this. I was going to do gold, but I thought, I don't know whether I'm ready to do gold yet. Working my way up to that. So anyway, they save the planet by blowing up the asteroid, but unfortunately they bring back a life form. Sound familiar? It should, because like I said earlier, Alien ripped it off 10 years later. And it's at this point that I realized why that lady's hair was so laid, even though she's working in a space station. After they save the planet, they have a champagne party, because it's the 60s. Also, she knew, if you stay ready, you don't got to get ready. Same with her redhead friend with the half wig. That was a really cute half wig. I love it. Not so much with our main protagonist who has this really bad dyed auburn hair that he thinks makes him look 30 years old because his character is supposed to be 30 years old, but he's about 60 years old, all in the face. I mean, look at this guy. This was 30. I guess in 1960, this was 30. I think not. There's a love triangle subplot, but I don't really care about that. Incidentally, the Japanese didn't either because in the Japanese version, it was cut down to 77 minutes by just eliminating that whole love triangle subplot. And in my opinion, that's a better version of this movie. I'm unsure how the green slime became a tentacled crab monster that's also electrocutes people. Maybe I blinked and missed the explanation for that. It's clearly a person in a rubber suit. Well, actually, it's a child in a rubber suit. More specifically, a Japanese child in a rubber suit. And then later on, more Japanese children in rubber suits because there happens to be more than one green slime, tentacled, electric creature. I don't care. That's still better than CGI. A person in a rubber suit will always be better than CGI to me. There was some good little gore in this. There's a scene where the creature throws a guy over a ledge, and then when he lands and hits the ground, his face and head kind of explode. That was a pretty good scene. As I said earlier, I really enjoyed some of the practical effects when it comes to the slime itself. I didn't really care for the creature design. The execution of it was really good, as in you couldn't see any seams in the suit. You couldn't see, whether it was a headpiece or anything like that. So the actual craftsmanship in making the rubber suit was well done. I just didn't care so much for the actual creature design. I also really enjoyed the camera work in this. There were times when they took liberties with different camera angles that were pretty cool, and then other times where they would do zoom ins or zoom outs to really make a scene more effective, and I really enjoy that. The soundtrack was used pretty sparingly. It was very typical of a 1960s sci-fi movie, which, by the way, I would class this as sci-fi horror, but it kind of leans into monster movie territory also, because I was having this conversation over whether this even counts for a 31 days of horror film, because someone was telling me, well, that's not horror. It kind of is. It's sci-fi horror, and I think alien movies are, well, if the alien kills people, it's a monster movie, in my opinion. There were some parts that dragged, but like I said, that was mostly the lackluster love triangle. And if I were to remake the American version, I would make the same cuts that they did in the Japanese version, just cut that part out and make this movie no longer than 75 to 80 minutes. And I think it would be a much tighter, more fun experience because you won't have those draggy parts. A part of me wonders, why do I love this film so much? And then I was looking at some of the facts about this film, and isn't it funny? This is the first film that was featured on Mystery Science Theater 3000 in 1988, and it's so fitting. So, in my opinion, I had a great time watching it. If you get a chance to watch it, check it out. I watched it on Amazon Video streaming. I can't remember how much I paid for it. It was only a couple dollars. But, like I always say, just because I love something doesn't mean you won't hate it. And just because I hate something doesn't mean you won't love it. Have you ever seen the Green Slime? Even if you've seen the Mystery Science Theater 3000 version of Green Slime, what did you think of it? Let me know in the comments. Bye. P.S. I still have whatdidijustwatch.com. So, if you want to see more movie reviews, definitely check out my website, because I actually have more reviews written there than I have recorded here. So there might be some movies that you would be requesting that I make a video review of that I've already done a written review of, and that won't stop me from redoing it and making a video review, but just check out the website anyways, because you might find something interesting there to read. Now I'm really going. Bye.